Hello guys, welcome to the part 3 of the series previous year's questions regarding GATE exam of the topic basics from the subject electric circuits. So let's get started. Previously in part 2 we have discussed questions from the year 2017 and a few questions from the year 2016. Let's cover up the remaining questions from the year 2016. We have this question over here as our first question for the video. Okay, this is your question over here, and you have to find out the current by the battery. Okay, the value of I1. Okay, the value of I1 is what we have to calculate. The funda we are going to use are super mesh over here, and I will explain in a while what is super mesh. And this question carries 1 mark. This is your required circuit, and let me explain. This is our required question. Let's assume a node over here, node A, and we are applying KCL at this particular node. Okay, what we are doing is sum of incoming currents equals to the sum of outgoing currents. Okay, so this incoming current is equals to the sum of these two outgoing currents. So we can write I1 equals to I2 plus I2. This is your incoming current and these two are outgoing currents. Okay, and from this we get this as our first equation over here. We are trying to find out I1, so we are converting I2 in the form of I1 over here, and this would be our first equation to be used later on. Then we will be applying super mesh. Why super mesh? The only condition to apply super mesh is when you have a source between your two meshes. In this particular question you have two meshes. This is your mesh number 1, okay, and this is your mesh number 2. Okay, so these are the two meshes, and between which we have a source I2 over here. So this is the reason why we are applying super mesh. So for applying super mesh you need to redraw the circuit as follows. Okay, your circuit will be converted into this particular format over here. This branch, the middle branch, will be eliminated, and this is what you are going to get. Basically we are going to apply mesh analysis as usual, or very common mesh analysis. Just ignore this branch over here in the circuit. Now everything is same as that in basic mesh analysis. You have your current directions I1 and I2, and everything is same. Now we will be writing the KVL equations. Okay, this is your voltage 1 volt, so we will write it directly, and then we will write the equations in the form of I into R, I into R. So these are also voltage, because this voltage over here is the reason why these all voltages are existing. So this voltage is actually the sum of all these voltages. So we write I1 into 1 ohm, I2 into 1 ohm, and I2 into 1 ohm over here. So these three voltages sum is actually 1 volt. So we are writing that. We are writing the basic KVL equation. This is your basic KVL equation. On solving this equation you get this. Okay, and you have already found out the value of I2 in terms of I1. Okay, this over here. So we are putting the value of this into this equation, and we get the value of I1 as 0.5 amperes. So this is your question, and this was your answer. And keep in mind the condition for super mesh and when to apply and how to apply, and please practice mesh analysis as well. It is very important to know that you can apply both nodal and mesh analysis for same questions, but we prioritize on one basis. If the number of meshes is less than the number of nodes, okay, if it is less than the number of nodes, then we prefer mesh analysis. Okay, but if the number of nodes is less, okay, if the number of nodes is less as compared to the number of meshes, we prefer nodal analysis. Okay, for questions like these, okay, you can use either, but the super mesh condition is something that would give you an answer rather quickly. It is not a very difficult question, but the thing is you have to keep certain things in mind and practice questions like these, so that you have a grip over concepts, and by looking at the question you can easily tell what concept is to be applied. So this is the basic tip I would give for GATE exam. This was a tiny question and the solution was tiny as well. But for explanation, I had to elaborate it. Okay. So this is the funda we have applied. Make sure you understand each and every concept and practice questions thoroughly. If you want to crack GATE, the only funda is to practice as many questions as possible. Okay. So this is all for today.